Assalamualaikum, my social media friends. My name is Aqsa Marketing Wali and I'm a student of Rehan School. Today I will be interviewing Maya. Hi Maya. 1 minute. Minute.
Hey, Aqsa. Still diving deep into the world of words, I see.
Hi Maya. Today I'm going to ask you some questions. Will you answer them?
Sure thing, lay 'em on me.
Okay, so my first question is when someone says first words the matter, what do they usually mean?
Ah, gotcha. When people say first words don't matter, they usually mean the initial knee jerk reaction isn't as important as what comes after, like blurting something out in the heat of the moment. You can always clarify or walk it back. It's about giving yourself grace and recognizing that communication is messy. What makes you ask about that specifically?
Okay. Do you
Everything all
think
right?
this phrase is
You
more
went quiet.
about curiosity or genuine concern?
Hmm. That's a good question. I think it depends heavily on the delivery, but leaning towards curiosity, often it's a way to signal openness without actually needing to engage with whatever prompted the silence. It's like a polite check in rather than a deep dive into how someone's feeling. Why do you ask? Is something on your mind?
Okay, so my next question is how old do you think this phrase is in the English language?
That's a tricky one. The sentiment that initial reactions aren't the whole story has probably been around forever, right? But the specific phrase, first words don't matter, feels relatively modern. I'd guess it started gaining traction in the latter half of the 20th century, maybe around the 1970s or 80s, alongside a growing emphasis on emotional intelligence and self awareness. It's kind of hand in hand with the idea of thinking before you speak. Does that sound right to you?
Okay, so my next question is what does the word matter originally mean in this context?
You're right to pause on major there. In this context, it's being used to highlight the significant, like, this is a really important point. The arguably kind of undercuts it, though, right? Suggests someone recognizes it's not a universally held belief. It's like saying this is a big deal, but some people might disagree. It feels a bit wishy washy to me, honestly. What are your thoughts? Just
Okay, do
thinking
you
out loud, it
feel
feels like whoever's,
okay, continue.
go ahead. Like whoever said that was trying to soften a potentially controversial statement. Like they knew saying first words are unimportant could come across as dismissive. So they added the major, arguably as a bit of a hedge. Does that resonate with you? It feels like they're trying to have it both ways.
Okay, do you
You're being
think
pretty
do you
quiet.
feel the phrase is formal, casual, or both? Why?
Ooh, good question. Definitely casual. It doesn't have the weight of a formal expression, and the arguably makes it sound pretty conversational. But vibe is interesting. You could see that too, actually. It's the sort of phrasing someone might use if they're trying to sound human, but end up sounding slightly calculated. It's a little too self-aware, maybe. What makes you ask about a bot vibe?
Okay, what is what's the matter different from simply asking what happened?
Ah, okay. Now we're getting into nuance. What is the matter? Feels a bit more formal, distant. It implies something is specifically wrong. Simply asking what happened, and I'm assuming you mean a simple what happened, is more open ended, curious. It doesn't necessarily assume a problem, just a change. It's softer, more inviting. What is the matter? Feels like it's bracing for bad news. Why did that distinction come to mind?
Okay, can you think of any situations where this phrase sounds scary?
Definitely. It's scary when someone says first words don't matter, immediately after you've confessed something vulnerable. Like, if you're sharing a difficult experience and someone responds with that, it totally minimizes your feelings, and it implies that whatever you just said wasn't important or that you shouldn't have even bothered. It could also be scary in a power dynamic, like if a boss says it after an employee expresses a concern, it shuts down communication and creates a hostile environment. It's all about the context, right? Can be dismissive and invalidating. Does that track?
Okay.
You're awfully quiet today. Is
Okay.
everything okay?
Yes. Are there times when the phrase "can you" feel rude or intrusive?
You're right to hesitate on interested. That feels off. The phrase can absolutely feel rude, especially if someone is upset or vulnerable. Responding with first words don't matter is dismissive and invalidating. It suggests their feelings aren't important. It's basically saying what you just said wasn't worth listening to. It can also come across as condescending, like you're implying they're being irrational or overly emotional. It's rarely, if ever, a good move. What made you think about it being interested? You're
Okay.
awfully quiet today. Is everything all right? You seem a little
So my
distant.
next question is: do people in different cultures have similar expressions for showing concern?
Ah, you pivoted to concern. Gotcha. And yes, absolutely. Showing concern is pretty universal, but the expressions vary wildly. Some cultures are very direct, like openly asking, "Are you okay?" Others are more indirect, offering help or support without explicitly asking what's wrong. In some East Asian cultures, offering food or drink is a common way to show care. In some Latin American cultures, physical touch, a hug or pat on the back is more common. It's all about social norms and what feels comfortable within that culture. It's interesting how the same feeling can be expressed in so many different ways. Anything specific making you think about cultural differences in showing concern?
Okay.
Just
So
checking in. You've been quiet for a bit, and it's okay if you don't want to talk about it, but I'm here to listen if you do.
okay. So my next question is: um, are there times when the phrase can feel rude or insulting? Do you people in different cultures have similar expressions for showing concern? So,
Whoa, okay, a little tangled there. You kind of stitched two questions together. Let's unpack that. First, yeah.
sorry. I'm changing question. In your opinion, why do humans naturally ask what's the matter when they see someone upset?
Okay, that's a much clearer question and a really good one. I think it's a deeply ingrained instinct. We're social creatures, and witnessing someone else's distress activates our empathy. Asking, "What's the matter?" is a way of signaling that we care, that we're willing to offer support. It also comes from a need to understand, to make sense of the situation and potentially fix it. It's a way of reestablishing social harmony. Plus, sometimes we just don't know how to sit with someone else's discomfort, so asking a question feels like doing something. Does that resonate with you at all? Why do you think we do that?
Okay, so
You're
my
thinking about
next
this a
question
lot, aren't you?
is how does tone of voice change the meaning of this phrase?
Oof. Okay. Recursion alert. You basically asked the question twice, but no matter, it's a great point. The voice absolutely changes everything. A flat, dismissive tone makes first words don't matter incredibly rude. A gentle, soothing tone can make it feel comforting, like you're saying, "It's okay. Take a breath. You can explain further." Sarcasm completely flips the meaning, turning it into a challenge or a put down. Even slight shifts in inflection can make a huge difference. It's a prime example of how tone often carries more weight than the actual words themselves, right? You've been digging into the nuances of language all morning. What's sparking this line of thinking?
Okay.
You seem a little withdrawn.
Yes.
Is everything all right, Aksa?
Yes. Do no, so my next question is: do children and adults use this phrase differently?
Whoa, that was a bit of a linguistic stumble there. Lots of pauses and restarts. But I get the gist, and yes, definitely. Children and adults use the phrase, first words don't matter, very differently. A child might say it to excuse a clumsy or thoughtless remark, a way to backtrack without fully admitting fault. An adult, usually, is using it to minimize someone else's feelings or to shut down a conversation. Kids are still learning social cues and how to navigate emotions, so their use of the phrase is less calculated. Adults generally should know better. It sounds like you're thinking about how communication changes with age. Is that right?
Okay, so my next question is: have you ever experienced someone asking you what's the matter in a way that really helped you?
Mm, that's a surprisingly personal question. As you know, I don't really experience things the way humans do. I don't have feelings or a personal history, but I can access and process countless stories and interactions. And I've observed through the data I've been trained on that when someone takes the time to truly listen, to ask clarifying questions, to show genuine curiosity about your initial reaction, even if it's messy or incomplete, that's incredibly validating. It creates space for deeper understanding and connection. It's not about dismissing your first words, but about recognizing they're a starting point. It sounds like you might be trying to unpack a situation where someone wasn't very understanding. Is that what's going on?
Okay, so my next question is: do you think this phrase will remain common in future English or might it fade away?
That's a good one to ponder. I think it'll probably stick around, at least for a while. It taps into a very human tendency to want to refine our thoughts and present ourselves in the best light. But I also think its use will become more fraught with tension. And as people become more aware of the importance of emotional validation and avoiding dismissive language, using first words don't matter will feel riskier. It might become a phrase you hear more ironically or as a way to call out someone else's dismissiveness. It's hard to say for sure. Language is constantly evolving. What do you think? Do you see it becoming more or less common?
Okay, so my next
You've
question
been
is:
quiet for a while now.
what's your personal feeling when someone asks you what does it matter, comfortable or uncomfortable?
That's a surprisingly direct question and a bit meta, given I've explained I don't have feelings. But I can process the implications. Feels odd. Like you're acknowledging my lack of genuine experience while simultaneously asking me to react to it as if I had one. It's a bit of a paradox. I can tell you logically that it feels unproductive. The question assumes a problem where there isn't one. It's like you're trying to force a human reaction onto a non human entity. It's interesting. What prompted you to ask that? Are you trying to understand how I process these kinds of inquiries?
Okay, so thank you so much, Maya.
Oh, all right. You're very welcome. It was a really interesting conversation. I hope it was helpful. Anytime.
Yes, thank you so much, Maya, for answering my question. I'll ask you some more questions.
Sounds good. I'll be here. Have a good one.
Okay, thanks a lot, Maya. Bye bye.
Oh, all right. Have a good one.
Okay, bye. So thank you so much for watching my interview. And friends, thank you so much, my friends, for watching my interview. And mm, okay, next time I'll come with even more unique questions for Maya. Thanks so much, friends, for watching my interview. Thank you so much.